the way how we behave sometimes, let's say to European countries or I don't know to Americans, Canadians, it looks like it's rude, but it's like we are like kind of serious. We look
Poker
in the
face.
face, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
because usually we are like very, let's say, easygoing, all smiley with people that we know.
Gadal, you know.
Yeah, but when we don't know people, you know, we
Yeah.
are kind of okay. Let me
Yeah, yeah.
see.
A bit sort of, but there is that expectation, I think. Okay, the Northern
the-
Europe, we're quite cold, but we still expect people to be like,
Yeah,
"Hello, how are you?"
yeah,
The
but
customer
with-
is always right. You know?
With us, it's like totally different. You know, we are very warm people. Like, but like, just we need that little bit of,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
say, few moments or like 2 meetings, like to get open in a proper way. Because if we trust one person, we really trust them.
Yes. Now, I saw last year as well, lots of people were complaining about the prices in Albania. But then I also saw that I think a lot of people had unrealistic expectations. There was someone complaining, a hotel, it's 30 euros a night. I thought Albania was supposed to be cheap, or, you know, a beer was 3 euros, or blah, blah, blah. And, oh, this tour, I'm looking for a tour, a 2-day tour for 20 euros. You know, these really unrealistic expectations, and then, you know, a very low amount of money, and people complaining, I thought Albania was supposed to be cheap, you know. And for me, I think there are people that are overcharging, you know, massively, especially in the south of Albania. You know, for some beds these prices are too high in my view, and tourists do get charged more. It's happened to me where I have been charged a higher price than my husband. But I also think there are some people coming here who are expecting a cheap holiday. They don't want to pay for the experience that they're getting. They have this expectation that it should be much lower price than it is. I think there's a balance to be struck there.
I would say there is the balance. The only thing is like people don't get the right information because, let's say we take an example like Greece, you know, and you have Santorini or Mykonos that are
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's our Xamil and Saranda.
Uh-huh.
And people like when they go in Santorini or in Mykonos, they know that it's not that they're gonna count the euros or whatever kind of currency they have. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you are going for vacation, you don't think, you
Yes.
have fun. And here is the same thing. So why you don't go in Shenzhen? I would say.
Yeah,
it's
whoa, whoa,
affordable.
whoa. What's wrong with Shenzhen? Actually,
Shenzhen is beautiful, but it's more affordable.
It's true, it's true. But although someone did try to charge me 9 euros for 2 pieces of barek there last summer, and then I turned around. It was like barek mimishi, and it was just like a tiny little bit of meat. And I was like, "Are you kidding?" I was like, "I might be foreign."
Don't
but
tell
I'm
me,
not
don't tell me
dumb."
that you bought it.
Of course I didn't. I told them what I thought in Albanian, and they were quite, "Oh, sorry," you know. No, I think there is something for every price point here. If you want to hitchhike, if you want to stay in a hostel or camp
There are
and eat, you know, in the summer I go to the beach and I spend 2,000 lek a day, food, a sunbed, blah, blah. If you know where you're going, you can do this, you know.
Yeah,
or you can spend 20,000 a day if you want to. If someone gave me 20,000, I'd have no problem in spending it in a day, you know, if I had to. But I think there is still an issue with people overcharging a bit. You know, when you look at problems with infrastructure, or maybe the service isn't what you expect, or it's this foreigners' prices thing, you know.
I wouldn't say so much, and I wouldn't even say that it never happened, you know, because it happens.
It does.
Sometimes. It doesn't happen very often. But passing where you said before, like about affordable places, there are like places like Divjak. I don't know if you have been there.
Yeah, of course, it's
It's
beautiful.
very affordable.
It's really,
And like they have sandy beach.
yeah, beautiful sandy
And
beach.
as well, salmon in Fier.
Yeah, it's stunning
so
there.
Those are like very affordable. So you
course.
don't have you are
Shenzhen, Velopoya, Gylalzit, to a certain extent.
you want to be in a budget, go to those places.
Yeah, yeah.
You want a very beautiful place, like with amazing experience, like on the top. Yeah, come to Sarandang Samil.
Yeah,
Easy.
but you have to pay for it.
Of course.
This is...
You
No.
everywhere we go, like in the best places that have each country. Of course, we pay more.
Now, I read an article in the British media this week, and this woman, she came to Xamil and Saranda, and she really criticised it. It was in the Telegraph. And she said the beaches were overcrowded, it was expensive, there was rubbish.
When she came,
It was in the summer, it was in the Telegraph. magazine. I think I sent you the link, but and she was saying Albania is at risk of over tourism. You know, they're putting too many sunbeds on the beaches. The public beaches are shrinking. It's noisy. You've got all these beach bars. All the sound is competing with each other. And even I used to live in Malta, and there's an island there called Comino. It's uninhabited and it's like paradise. It's really famous. And they were bringing so many boatloads of tourists and cramming so many sunbeds on this little island that you couldn't move, and it completely destroyed it. And the reason people wanted to go there, because it's beautiful, it's paradise, that reason was taken away because it was just chaos of noise and people and rubbish and sunbeds and boats. Do you fear that there's a risk of over-exploiting what Albania has with tourism?
It's not yet there.
No, I know, but do we want to go there?
If we fix few things,
What things?
like maybe adding more stuff in each business, you know, to make sure like they can do the things right. And as we mentioned before about having more public beaches,
Yeah, this is important.
so better service, public beaches, and yeah, I think we're gonna be all right.
Better regulation around prices, receipts, paying with
The,
fiscal
the
receipts.
receipts, I would say most of the time is the fault of the customers. You go, you don't pay, you say, give me the receipt, please.
Yeah, but you know,
Because
I think,
all of them, they have the
I
receipt.
think some people, like it's happened to me before where I've been given receipt. They look like a receipt, but it's not a proper fiscal receipt, you know. And I think foreigners, especially on holiday, you might not know, or you don't know the law, or you don't know the difference between fiscal and non-fiscal, or even you might not want to start a fight, you know.
Okay,
You're a bit
I
scared.
get that point, but all of us, when we go in a restaurant or in a bar, most of the time we check the menu. In the menu, it shows the price.
But what happens when it's wrong? Like you get overcharged at the end. Like this happens. You see it.
No, if there is the price in the menu, it doesn't
It should
happen.
be. It should be.
It is.
But there are issues where it's happened where people have ended up being charged more, or they say they have as well. I think there is a bit of a wild west when it comes to pricing. You can end up getting stung. It's happened before where I've checked the bill and I've been like, okay, I didn't order that, or that's not quite. Oh, well, we've updated the menu since. Well, you have to update the actual menu, you know.
It doesn't happen very often, but
No.
it happens like in every country that there are in tourism.
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
get the Turkey.
But we're talking about Albania.
Yeah, get the Turkey.
And
You know.
If Albania gets a bad reputation, like some countries do, that's it. It's done. We have to.
We are talking about like few small issues, and we are not
But
mentioning.
these are the ones that make news. These are the ones that get attention.
You're right about
Yeah,
this.
this is a problem. Bad press goes further than that.
Then good one, you would say.
Yeah, that article that they put in the Telegraph saying that Albanian beaches are dirty and overcrowded, that would get more attention than one saying, "Oh, they're really pretty beaches, and I had a lovely cocktail here." People don't care about that. They want to read the gossip, this sort of thing, which is unfortunate.
Things are getting better, and they will get even better in the
Yes,
future.
I agree with this.
because for each thing that doesn't go right, it's going to be fixed. Because nobody wants to don't have tourism. Everybody wants to come more people,
Of course.
and yeah.
But it's about, for me, it's, don't think about getting rich today. Think about getting rich this season, next season, the season after, the season after, it's this.
Most of the time, like you're right that you say like bad press makes more noise than good press, and thank God we don't have so many bad press.
No,
but
no.
mostly good press.
Yes.
So if you would see
For now.
in a Google, I'm sorry, there in the last months, the most researched place for vacation have been Samil.
Yeah.
So we are first in that ranking.
Yeah.
And the progress that we have been done like all those years, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Like come on, because you can say like those are the bad things, but If you see the bad, the part of the good things, there are many of them.
I think
like it's an infinity.
People need to kind of accept as well, okay, gone are the days when a place like Samil and Saranda are virgin beaches with no, just a couple of tiny bars. It's not like that anymore. It's
there are.